I'm going to start component testing by spinning up Chrome, which will open my Cypress runner. In here I would usually see my tests, but since I haven't created any, Cypress offers me to create an empty spec. Instead of doing that, I'm going to go to my source folder. I'll open up components and I'm going to create a new file for my footer component, which I'm going to name footer.cy.ts. CY is a naming convention that Cypress uses, but this can be easily defined in our Cypress config ts file by defining spec pattern, and instead of choosing something like this, where I'll include all of my JS, JSX, TS or TSX files, I can make it find, for example, spec files. So in my test file, I'm first going to import my component, and then I'm going to create a test, which is just going to display our component. Inside this test, I'm going to use cy mount function to mount my component. I'll save my test and run it inside Cypress app. This will open my test where I have successfully mounted my component, but as you can see, it lacks our CSS styles. These styles are included inside our main TS file, which is the entry point for our app, inside the index CSS. So I'm going to copy that and paste it into my test as well. When I now save this, it's going to fail because I have not included the correct path. So I need to go one level up. And when I now save my test, it's going to pass. Inside our browser, we can now interact with our component. So for example, I can click on this link, which is going to take me to my page. If I want to test this, I can, for example, open up my console, look at the detail of the component, and for example, make sure that the link is live. So I'm going to select it by get data cy footer link, and by using invoke function, I'm going to take out the property of href, which I'm then going to use inside a request. This way I can make sure that the link is live. When I save my test, I can see that the request is returning a 200 status code. If I wouldn't get a 200 status code, this test would fail. But if I want to make sure that the status code is 200, I can take a look at the status and test it with a should assertion. When I now save my test, I'm checking the link and making sure that the status code is 200.